What's up, guys? UFC Ankalaev versus Guskov just ended. I'm using the ESPN website. The UFC one's all glitched out, so if you're not subscribed, you should have been subscribed. You should have watched the last video. We just went 11-1. There were originally 13 fights on the card, but one pulled out last second. Islam Dulatov, some sort of infection or something like that. Overall, the card was kind of mixed. There were some good fights, there were some bad fights. But good picks though for me overall. Honestly, I should have bet on most of these fights. I probably would have got a lot of money. We didn't, but it's all good. First fight of the night, Cody Gibson versus Abdul Hussein. This fight played out basically how I thought it was going to. Abdul Hussein, super scrappy, super scrambly. Hurt Cody Gibson multiple times on the feet. Honestly, started to beat him up after a while. Ended up getting the sub. Round 3. Cody Gibson really started to gas hard in that third round. I was surprised by that. Usually Cody Gibson uses his cardio against his opponents, but Abdul Hussein just didn't gas at all. Super small bantamweight too. I mentioned that last week. Maybe that's why he's probably not carrying a lot of weight. But he just outfought Cody Gibson. They actually gave Cody Gibson the first round. I was a little bit shocked by that because Cody Gibson got a takedown, but didn't do a whole lot with it. I mean, that's kind of how the whole card went anyway. But yeah, we picked Abdul Hussein. I think I said by finish. He did beat him by finish, but I thought it was going to be a KO. He ended up getting the arm triangle sub. But yeah, we went 1-0 right here. And then, yeah, it was a decent fight though. Good fight, good scrap. And then next up we got Ankalaev versus Mike Davis. Yeah, this fight has a lot of people up in arms. And for a semi-good reason. Ankalaev, I picked him to win by a dominant decision. You can call it dominant. It wasn't really much of a fight. Took him down, held him down, as you can see. Control. 12 minutes, 25 seconds of a 15-minute fight. He shot immediately and got the takedown immediately, so he just kept going to that. I mean, 13 significant strikes, that's less than 5 a round. I can see why people are upset about this. I was just happy to get my pick right. Mike Davis is a pretty good fighter, and he's kind of going on a Twitter tirade right now about Ankalaev. Saying some not nice things about him being gay or something like that. Whatever. You kind of knew what he was going to do, bro, when he went out there and you didn't stop it. I mean, Ankalaev has fought that way multiple times. But yeah. This is basically the lightweight Muhammad Mukayev. Kind of just gets the dominant position, kind of controls and stalls. Clearly, 13 strikes, didn't do really anything. Like I said, I can see why Mike Davis is upset, but also, you know what he's gonna do, and the UFC just doesn't stop stuff like that. I mean, it happens all the time. Whatever. Yeah, we picked Ankalaev, so that's like 2-0 on picks. Yeah, whatever. Boring fight. Magomed Tucholov versus Brenison Ribeiro. Now, this fight was hilarious because Magomed Tucholov didn't do shit in that first round. In fact, I tweeted this out. Brenison Ribeiro, I said he was the new Pereira. Just looking like the Matrix out there. Piecing up Tucholov. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. It wasn't that good. But Tucholov just didn't do anything in that first round. Looked like he had the jitters. Ribeiro hurt him a couple times. Tagged him really good in the eye. His eye was all messed up and he was holding it for a second in the fight. But Tucholov woke up in that second round. Hit him with the overhand right. Rocked him. Brenison Ribeiro's chin is glass. He got tagged with an overhand right and it looked like he got shot. Yeah. We expected that to happen. I thought he was going to get a knockout though. Tucholov really just started grappling in that third round. Brenison Ribeiro shot a takedown in that third round, which was just 0 IQ. Just the stupidest shit. And we're going to shoot a takedown on a Dagestani guy. I don't even know if this guy's from Dagestani, but he's one of those wrestler Russians. Dude, it's like your best success, your best chances on the feet, and you're gonna shoot on this guy. I mean, that's the last guy you would probably shoot on, man. But yeah, now Brenison Ribeiro looked good in the first round. I was like, holy shit, Tucholov is gonna get fraud checked. Second round, Tucholov cracks him, and that's all she wrote, pretty much. From there on, Brenison Ribeiro just looked like shit. Fought with 0 IQ. Yeah, 29-28. We picked Tucholov, as did everybody. And yeah, so I think that makes us 3-0 on picks. So yeah. Decent fight though. Decent fight. It's mostly stand up. All right, Ismail Bonfim versus Axel Sola. Yeah, Bonfim. This is probably the worst performance of the night. Bonfim shoots pretty much immediately, holds against the fence, and just gets bombed on by Sola from the top with elbows, just sitting in the clinch, boom, 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 until Bonfim finally gave way and just kind of keeled over, and then Axel Sola took the neck. Yeah, Bonfim didn't want to strike on the feet. I said it last week. He's not a dog. He fakes like he's gonna be a dog, postures, acts like he's gonna. When he's the bully, he's pretty good. But when he's getting some resistance, as he did in this fight, Axel Sola didn't give him the takedown. Or I guess he did give him one takedown. I think he got right back up though, if I'm not mistaken. Most of this control time, I believe, is from the fence. But yeah, Axel Sola didn't give up the position, elbowed the shit out of him, hurt him, didn't get bullied, didn't give Bonfim any room. And then, yeah, Bonfim just quit. Just like I thought it was going to be round 2. Like, there's going to be a decent stand-up fight. And then Axel Sola would take over. End of the first, end of the second. But nope, Bonfim shoots immediately. And just gets wailed on. And then gives up, keels over. Loses the neck. Looked like he gassed. Falls over. Axel Sola takes the neck. Darce choke. So, yeah, that makes us about 4-0. Honestly, yeah. Worst performance of the night. Easily Bonfim. And he's probably going to get cut from the UFC. So is Cody Gibson. So is Brandon Ribeiro too, probably. But yeah, next up we had Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Sam Patterson. For about 1 or 2 minutes of this fight, the first round, I was like, oh, Santiago's gonna crack him. He was tagging him. Sam Patterson's chin was straight up in the air. Santiago was like looking good. I was like, okay. We'll turn back the clock a little bit on Santiago Ponzinibbio. But nope, once Sam Patterson used that length, used that reach, got his timing. Yeah, no, it was straight raps for Santiago. He started getting rocked. That jab was in his face the whole night. Those 14 strikes all had to be landed like that first minute of that first round. He was whiffing on everything, missing on everything. Looked slow, looked old. This should be his last fight. Why is he still fighting? I don't know. I said that last week. I thought he was retired after that last fight. He definitely should be now. Sam Patterson's not even ranked. Yeah. Knockout. We picked Sam Patterson, as did everybody. So that makes us like 5-0 on the night. Good performance from Sam Patterson, though. Keep your hands up, though, if you're going to fight a better striker. Santiago should be his last fight. Ooh, next up we have Dustin Jacoby versus Mohamed Saidov. I don't know why it says Said. I think on the card it says Saidov, but whatever. Dustin Jacoby looked lost, looked flustered, looked hesitant. Didn't look like he wanted to strike with him very much. I'm surprised he threw this many strikes, to be honest. It kind of looked like most of these are probably leg kicks. Yeah, they are leg kicks. Most of these are leg kicks. Yeah, Saidov looked freaking sick. So I said last week, I was like, he looks good, but Saidov's fought nobody. Like, literally, like, no cans. The cans of the cans. I think he fought Rizvan Kunyaev on his amateur career. But other than that, whole bunch of cans, whole bunch of shitters. But he looked good against them. He was styling on him, looked like he was in the Matrix. Looked like a video game, looked really good. So I was like, hey, I'm going with Dustin Jacoby. But Saidov, just because Saidov looked good against cans, like that's the only footage we had. He was fucking flowing on these bozos. But yeah, I picked Dustin Jacoby. That was the only pick I got wrong of the night. Mohamed Saidov kicked him with this. It was the sweetest combo. I actually posted it on Twitter too. But yeah, it was like a right overhand into a head kick, kind of like Kevin Lee versus Gregor Gillespie. That was really sweet. Knocked the sweat off his face, dropped him, and he finished the fight. Saidov looked great. Didn't look tired. His hands didn't look great though. His hands kind of looked especially like that first round and a half. He was kind of whiffing, kind of just whipping overhands over and over and over, missing a bunch. Most of the strikes that Saidov landed before the knockout were his legs. Just a nasty body kicks. He actually hurt. It looked like he hurt Dustin Jacoby to the body with a good liver kick. But yeah, Saidov looked good. I want to see him fight like a wrestler, though. I want to see if he can stuff the takedowns and all that stuff. This was kind of, obviously looking back at it now, kind of like a decent matchup for him. Older kickboxer. No grappling threat. I mean, Muhammad Said's just styled all over him. So yeah, that was one of the only fight we picked wrong. That's not bad. Oh yeah, Walter Walker versus Thomas Peterson. Off rip, Walter Walker gets the clinch, dives for a leg. Thomas Peterson jumps on him, and I was like, okay, maybe we'll see a little bit more of a smudge fest this time compared to Walter Walker's last fights where he just dips for the leg and then the guy tries to escape and then he grabs it. Nope. Thomas Peterson gives up the leg. Walter Walker's pulling on the ankle. Thomas Peterson kind of pulls it out a little bit, pulls the knee out, and then Walter Walker holds onto it for dear life, follows him, grabs the hips, pulls him, and Thomas Peterson knew he looked defeated as he tapped. It was actually kind of hilarious. He's like, just no fucking way I just got caught by that right now. But yeah, Walter Walker, calf slicer, does it again. It's like his 5th leg lock sub, if you want to call calf slicer a leg lock sub in a row. Another heavyweight, another smudge fest heavyweight, another blob heavyweight is taken out by this. I want to see Walter Walker fight someone kind of good though next. Maybe like a Waldo Cortez Acosta or something like that. No, he's a little too high in the rankings. Someone in the rankings though. Let's give Walter Walker someone in the rankings. There's not much to talk about this fight. That's literally all that happened. Yeah, Thomas Peterson, calf slicer, loses. Another fight we picked right. I thought he was going to get the ankle. It looked like he had the ankle, but yeah, Thomas Peterson looked like he trained for that, so he pulled the leg out, ended up giving up the calf slicer. Yeah, good performance again. Funny, hilarious. And next up we got Abubakar Vagaya versus Saigid Izagakmiov. Okay. This fight's another fight that people are a little upset about, and I can also see why. Both these fighters look like they gassed in like the first round. Abubakar Vagayev, holy stall, holy fence smudge, whatever you want to call that. Yeah, just not a good look. Gassed. Ismagakiev again just gives up, concedes the fence position, and just stares at the clock like he did against Nicholas Dalby. That's why I picked Vagayev. I knew he would do that. I didn't expect Vagayev to gas so fast, though. That was kind of interesting. I mean, I get it's short notice and all that stuff. I think it was short notice for both these guys, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken on that. Definitely a short notice for Izagakmiov. But, yeah. Vagayev, fence stalling, not really throwing much significant strikes. A lot of clinching against the fence, holding. And then when he got on top, he was holding a lot. The third round's where it got interesting. Ismagakiev actually got on top and looked like he was getting some subs. He had 3 sub attempts. It felt like more. I felt like he was kind of flowing on him a little bit. I mean, Vagayev was completely gassed. He had like an arm triangle at one point. At the very end, it looked like he was trying to grab for an arm. He actually did have that. I think he had that arm bar, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mixing it up with another fight? No, yeah. I think he had the arm bar too at the very end of the fight. Ismagakiev needs to wake up though if he wants to get a win in the UFC. His next opponent should very much hold him against the fence again, because Ismagakiev does not try to get off. And that was against a gassing Vagayev, who just didn't look good either. Gassed super fast. He worked really hard in that first round. Maybe that's why he's gassing. Like I said, I don't recall if it's short notice. But yeah, Ismagakiev doesn't look good. First 2 rounds. Definitely loses this fight though. Took the third, but definitely lost the first 2. I know Vagayev landed 0 strikes in the first round, but he had all that control. Ismagakiev didn't land much. But yeah, we picked Vagayev. Vagayev won pretty clearly, in my opinion. Yeah, another fight people are upset about. But yeah, next up we got Rizvan Kuniev versus Tyrell Fortune. This fight made me mad for a different reason. Tyrell Fortune didn't really try to shoot a takedown. It says he has 2. Not really. Rizvan Kuniev hurt Tyrell Fortune so many times and kind of just like let him live. Like he's sitting there against the fence holding like one rib, just leaning against the fence praying that the fight gets stopped, and Rizvan Kuniev is just like spamming punches on his guard. Like dude, rib to the body. He threw a lot of knees to the body that ended up hurting Tyrell. Threw a really sweet spinning back kick in the first round. Hurt Tyrell really bad to the body. Tyrell didn't look good again in this fight. Looked like he was stuck in the mud. I thought maybe that was because in his last fight that was short notice. He knows he doesn't have that much of a gas tank. Not the case. That kind of is just how he fights, I guess. Rizvan Kuniev held him against the fence a bunch. Honestly, though, he beat him up a good amount. I was just more upset about the fact that Rizvan Kuniev kind of prolonged the damage that Tyrell took by not just like rip into the body really good a few times. Like I said, Tyrell was literally against the fence, just holding onto a rib for dear life, complaining about the rib the whole time in the corner too. Like, dude, just get him up out of there. I don't think that should have went to the third round. I thought he was going to get him out in the second round. Better performance from Rizvan than we've seen before, though. This was less boring and all that stuff. Definitely put the damage on Tyrell. I'll give him that. Like I said, it was a pretty good performance. Just, you're a heavyweight, man. Get this guy the hell up out of here. He's sitting there holding a rib. Yeah. We picked Rizvan Kuniev. Thought it was going to be a little bit closer, though, to be honest with you. I thought Rizvan was going to use some more smudging, some more blobbing, some more stalling on Tyrell, get him gassed and hurt. No, he put the damage on him, beat up his face. That third round, why did his coaches send him out? Tyrell, why did his coaches send him out? He's sitting there, he basically saying he's done. They send him out. He gets so much more damage on his face. Eats a bad knee at the end. Whatever. We picked Rizvan Kuniev. It was a good fight, though. Just a straight beat down on Tyrell, though. Next up, we had John Pork versus Damian Respecki. Bro, John Pork is him. So I guess in between the first and second round, he told his coaches, hey, something's up with my leg, because that's what the translator was telling the broadcast. I don't know if anybody picked that up. I was talking to my friend about it. He didn't hear it. I don't know if I'm hearing things. I think he literally said, like, my right leg is beat up. And you can kind of tell. In the last fight that John Pork had, using a lot of low kicks, a lot of Muay Thai. This fight, not so much. His legs, he threw, like, kicks, don't get me wrong, but they weren't like they were last time. They were, like, pitter-patter. Just throwing them out there to let you know, hey, I still got these type of deal. Wasn't throwing them hard, though. It looked like maybe he got checked or something like that. Nonetheless, doesn't matter. He won every round. First round, semi-close. Rizbecki just tried holding against the fence and stalling, gassing out Zayanukov. Didn't work. Second round, Zayanukov just started bombing on him in the clinch with elbows. Rocked the shit out of him, probably like 5 times. Made him do the chicken dance a few times. Zayanukov looked really good. Hands looked good. Rizbecki looked good too. Definitely a dog. Took a lot of damage. He looked like absolute shit after the fight. The broadcast was joking that he looked like what's his name? Darren Elkins. Guy that retired like 3 years ago. The damage. Yeah, he looked like that good dude after the fight. Looked tore up. Cuts all over his face, bleeding. His face was all swollen. Zayanukov put it on him, dude. He looked great. Yeah, give Zayanukov someone good. I want to see him fight maybe a wrestler too. Someone that'll shoot for the legs. That'd be a good matchup. We know Zayanukov is pretty good on the feet. Really good performance though. Yeah, I thought he might have get the finish in the third round. He didn't end up getting it. Rizbecki was really tough. Definitely more excited to see another John Pork fight where his leg isn't hurt. I'm assuming it was hurt. That's what I heard. I love the kicks last time from Zayanukov, the low kicks. Calf kicks were really nasty. Didn't get to use that much here. I know Damian's a southpaw, so that's not really in play either, but at least body kicks, head kicks, stuff like that. Zayanukov was basically all hands after that first round. A really good performance, though. I expected Zayanukov to get more tired, too. To me, it didn't look like it after all the smudging that Rizbecki was trying to do and hold him against the fence and stuff like that. Good fight, though. Zayanukov, 30-27. We picked Zayanukov as well. Yeah. Like I said, we only picked one wrong fight on this card. Check out the video if you haven't. Alright, co-main event. I told y'all last week. If you were watching, I told you guys. I'm lighting a candle for the Steve Erceg fans, bro. It's over. It's over. And I knew it. I'm a Steve Erceg fan. It's over, man. It's over. Sitting there doing a chicken dance by Tim Elliott in his last fight. Tamarov is going to have a fucking field day. And he did. Opening of the rounds, Steve Erceg looked really good. Keeping distance, keeping control, boom, boom, boom. Actually, he got tagged, I think, like right in the very beginning of the round. But regained, whatever. Got back to his feet or some shit. Started piecing up Tamarov. Looked good. Looked like classic Steve Erceg, keeping the distance, making Tamarov swing big. Tamarov was missing a lot. And then he didn't. Caught Steve Erceg, hurt him a little bit. Chased him down, hurt him more. And then Steve Erceg was on the run. ran him down, pieced him up, dropped him, caught him with the overhands. That's what Tim Elliott caught him with too in his last fight, and that's why I was like, okay, Tamarov is gonna be more explosive, faster, relentless striker. Ran him down, caught him, dropped him, knocked him out. Steve Erceg got clipped. He got iced by a midget. I think I think Tamarov is like 5'4", and the Erceg is like 5'8" or some shit like that, 5'9", something. Iced out. Tamarov looked juicy as hell though. I'm not even gonna lie. His shoulders looked crazy. This whole fight week, and in the fight looked freaking insane. Looked like he might have been on his way to gassing, to be honest, if Steve Erceg would have survived. He just looked bigger. I don't know. Ramazan looked even bigger than he did before. At least in my opinion. His arms just looked fucking weirdly jacked. But yeah, ran down Steve Erceg, knocked him out. Dude, Steve Erceg's defense post-Pantoja is just trash. I don't know what happened. The chin was just shot. Maybe it was after the Kai Kara-France fight, but nah, I don't know. It looked like after Pantoja. I don't know what happened. He just didn't look the same on the feet. Gets caught and rocked by everybody. But yeah, Steve Erceg, man. It's crazy to think that if he didn't roll for that, what did he do? Roll for a leg or something like that in the 5th round against Pantoja, he would have been the world champion. It was that close. I remember that fight. Great fight. It's just crazy how the sport goes, man. Now he's like, what is he? Like 2-3 in his last 5, I think. And 3 knockouts, right? Is he lost 3 times? Lost by no, he didn't lose to Brandon Moreno by knockout, but he lost to Kai Kara-France by knockout, and now Ramazan by knockout. I don't know what Steve Erceg wants to do. He probably fight some of the lower level guys, but I think all these guys that are coming up are just so much better now than they were just 5 years ago. You got Loner Kavanaugh, stuff like that, some power punchers that I think would sleep Erceg too. Just crazy how the sport goes. We picked Ramazan Tamarov. Like I said, I'm a Steve Erceg fan, but the writing was on the wall, man. The power, the speed. Like I said, rocked by Tim Elliott in 2026. Nah, bro. That's not happening. No way Tamarov wasn't going to end up catching him at some point, and he did. They had 2 knockdowns in this fight. Yeah, man. Like I said, we're lighting that candle for Steve Erceg. Next up, we got Ankalaev versus Guskov. Dude, this fight was trash. I'm not even going to lie. This fight was fucking trash. Ankalaev doesn't do a lot on the feet, and Guskov did nothing on the feet. I'm glad that Magomed Ankalaev woke up and decided to take Guskov down. He should have done that in the first round and just got him up out of there. Guskov was on the bike the entire fight. Total strikes, 45 in a 5-round fight, and 34 of them to the legs. Bro, that shit is trash. I don't even know why you signed up to fight for this against Magomed. If you weren't going to fight, just go fight Jan, bro. Just let Magomed sit on the sidelines for a little bit. This fight was trash. Magomed Ankalaev, dude, if that guy's not doing anything, just go get him. Like, he's not throwing anything back. Guskov wasn't throwing anything back. Like, Magomed should have just got him, bro. I'm being dead serious. Just go get him. Kick him, hit him, punch him, put damage on him. Guskov was against the fence the entire 20 minutes or 15 minutes, I guess. The first 3 rounds. Just running around at the corner of the edge of the octagon. Just not throwing. Magomed should have got him. I don't know what the hell. Honestly, this is a common Magomed fight. Just kind of does enough just to win the fight, but not really damage his opponent, even though he's a light heavyweight. Even though he's way better than a lot of the guys he fights. Like, I think he took Thiago Santos to a decision. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure about that, but he's just better in places than other fighters and just doesn't take advantage of it. He's fine with just letting the fight go his way. I don't know, that's a weird way to say that, because technically he's winning by doing not much, but it's like, why not just go finish him? Like, you wonder why it took you so long to get a title shot, took you so long to get a second title shot, and you're putting up shit like this. It's gonna take you even longer to get a 3rd title shot, bro. You're gonna have to get like 3 more fights in. They're definitely gonna throw Khalil back in there after this shit. You're gonna need another 3 fights to get another title shot. Dude, yeah, okay. And then he took him to the ground. So that was the first 15 minutes. Took him to the ground in the 4th round, and then started beating his ass. It's like, dude, just do that from the beginning. Like, you're just dominant on the ground. Just beat his ass. Get him out of there in the 1st round. Get him out of there in the 2nd round. whatever it is, but the fans were booing. Ankalaev was upset that the fans were booing, but it's like, dude, I mean, come on now. This is the main event of the fucking card, and you're gonna just not do a lot on the feet. It's a snooze fest. You know, it's funny. This says he threw a lot of strikes. I'm sure most of these were towards the end of the fight, because I think after the second round, they said that Guskov was actually in the lead in terms of significant strikes. Again, all leg kicks or whatever, but that's just what the numbers said in the fight. Yeah, I'm sure all these, if you're just watching the stats, like this is like the last 2 rounds, because Magomed started beating his ass once he took him down. But before that, he was winning, clearly winning. Don't get me wrong, just didn't do a lot, and it just kind of sucked. I don't know, it kind of sucked. Like I said, that's why it took so long Magomed to get the first title shot. Took him even longer to get the second title shot. It's gonna take him maybe even longer. If he keeps fighting like this, maybe even longer to get a third one. They're definitely going to rebook the Khalil fight after this shit. Yeah, Magomed wins. Bogdan kind of gave up. Bogdan didn't even want to be there. After the fight was over, he started smiling. The commentary said he looked dejected. He didn't look dejected. He smiled immediately. The second the ref stepped in, bro, it was shits and giggles. Guskov didn't want to be there. Didn't strike. Yeah. So yeah, we went like 11-1 on this card. Subscribe. We're going to be breaking down the next week's card for sure. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Put on notifications. If you followed my picks, you could have got rich tonight. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching.